Hey guys, so today I'm gonna show you how I make my chicken tinola. Chicken tinola is a ginger chicken soup. It's a very gingery soup. It's got lots of flavor, and it's really good. This is my version. I hope you guys like it, and I'm gonna talk about the ingredients right now. So first things first, it's a chicken soup, so you need chicken. I'm using red meat. And these are chicken thighs, so it's thigh and leg together, so I just cut them in three. I'm using about 4. So other than the chicken, I'm also going to talk about the other ingredients. Well, first things first, I got some ginger here, so I'm using about, I don't know, a cup worth, and I'm just gonna roughly chop them like so. And yeah, all I want is for the ginger to infuse into the oil, into the dish. I don't want to bite into them when I'm eating the soup. So yeah, I just leave them whole like this. Another ingredient that you need is some onions. Just slice up. Again, it's a soup, it's gonna disappear. I also got some garlic, and these guys here are what we call in the Philippines Sayote or Chayote in North America. So this is what it looks like, and I'm gonna show you how I do mine. So first, let's take everything out. First is I cut the bottom, get your peeler, switch your gear, and start peeling. So now you have this. So what I usually do is cut it in half and then cut it in quarters. And as you can see, there's a little pit and some leftover skins. So what I usually do at this stage is just cut, and I'm using my hand as a chopping board, and just like so. You just want to get rid of all the skin leftovers and the pit. If you're not used to cutting things not using a board like this, you can also just do this. And so put it in an angle and cut like you would core an apple. I should note that when you're cutting your sayote, it's a very slippery veggie. It's very sappy, okay, so be careful when you're holding your knife. And then at this stage, I find that it's still too big. So I'm just gonna slice it lengthwise in half. That way, you still get a good bite after. And yeah, like so. And then you have them. Alright, so other ingredients that I have for this dish is some spinach. Traditionally, people would put some moringa leaves or malunggay in Tagalog. You can use some bok choy, okay, as an alternative. Just some greenery. Last but not least, I am going to add some fish sauce. This is the brand that I use. I find that it's not as funky as the other fish sauce out there. It's very flavorful. It's not as salty, so you can actually put a lot of this and not change the salt level as much as you would with other brands. Other than that, some black pepper, and we should be good to go. So now I'm gonna show you how to cook it. Perfect. My pot is heating. I'm just gonna add a little bit of oil. Just a little, about 2 tablespoons, maybe 3. And you want to start with a hot pan or pot, okay? And then at this stage, I'm gonna add my ginger. The reason why is you want to infuse as much ginger flavor as you can into the dish, because that's basically the main flavor of this soup. It's a ginger chicken soup. Just get that going. And you can right away smell the ginger infusing into the oil. So at this stage I can add my onions. I want some onions. I want a lot of onions in this dish because it adds some sweetness. It just balances the flavor. And yeah, by the way, you want to use a heavy bottom pot for this, because you're gonna be cooking for a long time. Let me roll up my sleeves. Get the onions going. A little bit of salt just to help the onions sweat. Alright, so that's good. I'm gonna add my garlic. I do like adding garlic in my tinola. I'm not sure if it's traditional. Again, this is my way of cooking it. I just find that it just adds some depth of flavor into the soup. So, alright, so I added garlic. In this recipe, you can definitely skip it or add less if you don't like garlic. And also at this point, I'm gonna add my chicken and just toss it around until you see it all incorporated. As soon as you can see everything is nice and tossed around, you can add some water. Alright, so I'm just adding some water. So you want to cover all the chicken. Make sure they're submerged in water. So no real measurements here. You really just want to make sure that the chicken is submerged. Our chicken is bone in, skin on, so it's gonna release a lot of flavor. That's why I was able to just use some water. But if you want to make this boneless, you can definitely do that. But when it comes to adding liquid, you want to use some good chicken stock, or else you're gonna be lacking a lot of flavor. Okay, and then at this stage, I'm just gonna cover it and let it go for about 30 minutes. See where you're at, depending on how big you cut your chickens and whatnot. And then yeah, we'll be right back. Alright, so 30 minutes in, let's see where we're at. By the way, midway, I turned the heat down to medium from high. The reason being is because you don't want the bottom to burn, and you want it to simmer nice and slow. That's why. Okay, so here it is. After the 30-minute mark, I'm gonna add my sayote. Make sure they're fully submerged. Alright, so the sayote is going to cook for about 25 minutes. Make sure that it's fully submerged. And yeah, check at the 15-minute mark, because it all depends how old the sayote is as well. This one I predicted 25, so that's what we're gonna go for. But check at 15-minute mark, okay? So to check the sayote, just run a spoon. Yeah, that's good. So it still has its shape, but when you cut it with a spoon, it cuts through nice and easy. So now what I'm gonna do is turn it off, take it off heat. Alright, so now that it's off heat, I season it with some fish sauce. In total, I used about 4 tablespoons for this pot. There's about 2 liters worth of liquid in this. I would suggest seasoning the soup with a tablespoon of fish sauce at a time, so you can So you can adjust the way you like it. And right now I'm just adding some black pepper. You don't have to if you don't like black pepper. Again, this recipe is very versatile. Other than that, I'm just gonna dump the spinach. Give it a toss. Alright, you want to make sure that the heat is off because you don't want to overcook the spinach. The residual heat should be enough to cook it through. At this point, I just want to say thank you for watching. If there's any questions or comments, leave them down. And again, thank you and bye.